I'm Gold Derby News and Features Editor Ray Richmond, and I'm welcoming Bryan Rowland, a director on the FX sports docuseries Welcome to Wrexham, to our Gold Derby Meet the Emmy nominees TV directors panel. So just quickly, for those who don't know, Welcome to Wrexham is an FX sports docuseries that follows actors Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney and their purchase in 2020 of a downtrodden Welsh football club and their subsequent attempts to resurrect it as its new owners. Bryan, you were nominated for your editing as well as directing on Wrexham, which is a little bit like what Ted Lasso would be if it were real. Would you agree?
Oh, I guess a little bit. Yeah, it's very surreal. This show is absolutely incredible. But yeah, as far as my involvement with it, it's unbelievable that I'm actually sitting here talking with you today. Very much, as the previous person said, it's very out of my comfort zone. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, well, we're going to make you comfortable. Don't you worry. Right now, you're going to be comfortable. Now, let's talk about the episode whose directing you were nominated for,
Yeah.
Wide World of Wales, which
Yes.
brings me back to my Wide World of Sports days viewing as a child. It's pretty radically different, actually, than any other installment of the show. Describe it for us.
So yeah, it's really interesting, kind of my involvement with it, because like many others, I was kind of watching just the episodes were kind of coming in, they were being worked on, and then really out of left field, I got this. I've been working with Ryan, first of all, for years and years. I've been working with him heavily on promotional material, and then really out of nowhere, a few weeks before we were supposed to shoot this particular episode, that's when I was brought in with very, very short notice. And they threw a script my way, and I went, wait, Wide World of Wales? Wait, what is this? And I start reading through the script, just trying to see the nuts and bolts of what this is. And I'm seeing, okay, we need to build an ESPN set. Okay, we need to build a Tonight Show set. We need a cooking show set. We need to get these various guests on board. And I'm like, when are we shooting this? Oh, about 2 weeks. We got about 2 weeks. And so we had a very, 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 very short runway to kind of get up and running. And basically, from what I understand, was while they were in the editing process of season one, they realized, you know what, we really do need to get more context of what Wales is all about. And so they came up with this variety show of sorts where we could have, through, the lens of Ryan and Rob, kind of take us through what they understand about Wales and bring in different guests. We had Charlotte Church and I ran some different people. And then, of course, because I was brought in so late to do that, I executed, got it done. And again, for years, I've been doing a lot of the promotional work directly for Ryan. And my workflow usually is I go out, direct shoot, and then I edit and do all the posts. And I thought, sure, I could edit this thing, no problem. It's just an hour-long episode all by myself. And so that's what I did. And it just about killed me. And I remember turning over the hard drive and thinking, never again, never, never, never do this again. It was so brutal. And then I got a call later from George Dewey, who's one executive producer, saying, hey, do you want to be involved with season two at all? We really liked what you did. And Rob really liked working with you and this and that. And I said, sure, I'll be involved. And now they've got me show running the show, along with Josh Driscoll, for season two. And it's
I believe
just,
that's what is known as a promotion,
yes,
graduation.
it was, but they were really sneaky in how they pitched it, because he's like, no, you don't have to shoot anything, you don't have to edit anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, I could do that. And then on the call with Rob, it was, oh, here's the new showrunner. I'm like, well, okay, what? How does this work? So again, there's a lot of crossing the wake here as far as going from, I got my start doing documentaries. That's for years I did docs. And then I went from doing docs to promotional stuff where Brian brought me in. And then I now am show running Wrexham, and it's just been absolutely amazing and
That,
terrifying.
that that episode that you're nominated for, I mean, it's really very, very clever. Mock travelogue in the country of Wales.
Yeah.
It's like a cooking show, like you said, a sports center show, late night talk show, all rolled into one. And then you have Charlotte Church with this angelic voice kind of bringing the house down at the end. It's
Yeah.
it's it's really deceptively very clever and very well done, and had to be a big challenge because it's like you're directing five things in one.
Yeah, yeah, and the funny thing is, this is like classic DNA from George and Ryan and from Rob. It's very out of left field, very bizarre, and I just remember in all the production, all the prep for the production, just how I just kept scratching my head, like how is this thing going to work? And I think it did. I think it came together really, really nicely, and I think it was well received and a lot of fun to work on. So
It's crazy that, you know, your fellow nominees in this directing for a reality program category, you're you're up against Queer Eye, Top Chef, Amazing Race, and
yeah,
RuPaul's Drag Race. A little bit of an apples and oranges thing.
yeah, it really is. I'm a big fan of those shows, by the way. Yeah, but again, never I can't emphasize enough just how just surreal of a moment it is for me coming from doing doc work to promotional work to just being asked to do this episode and then being able to sit here and talk with you today. So yeah, I think I'm the king of imposter syndrome, so I'm just gonna ride this while I can.
Well, the stuff you did with Ryan before was like satirical kind of shorts and things and promo
Yeah.
thing, right? And Hugh Jackman, and you've got a great reel I saw.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
You know, and it's so basically there's a lot of commercial and promotional and marketing stuff.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Again, I got my start in the documentary world, and I was working on a campaign for a number of years, and then the campaign dried up, and I remember my bank account just went to zero, and I was terrified. And I remember I had my camera with me, and I took my daughter out, and we shot a little short, and Blake Lively watched that short, and it changed my life because Blake then introduced me to Ryan, that then brought me into the commercial side of things that really allowed me to kind of feed my family. And so since then I was on and off involved with helping Blake and Ryan on a few projects. But then after a number of years, I got a phone call from Ryan saying, "Hey, I bought this gin company, and I want to do a promotional piece, and can you do it for me?" And so since then, that was just a number of years ago, it has been just this nonstop wild ride trying to keep up with Ryan Reynolds, where I find out along with everybody else, oh, he just got a gin company. Okay, well, oh, he just got a mobile company, Mint Mobile. He just bought Mint Mobile. Okay, and then I remember hearing the news. Oh, he just bought a soccer club, this Wrexham soccer club, and I thought, what is going on? Because I had heard that he had done it with Rob, and I was a big fan of Rob McElhenney. I've watched every episode of Sunny like 10 times, just embarrassing them. I was a huge fan of his, but I thought Ryan is kind of a private guy, and this is a huge risk that he's taking because worst case scenario, we're watching Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney very publicly potentially make the biggest financial mistake of their lives, also while harming a Welsh town. I mean, this is crazy. But then after just kind of diving into it and watching them and watching them be how sincere they are about genuinely wanting to help this club and watching this town rally behind them it's taken like I've said so many times to my colleagues, it's taken my Grinch heart and made it grow, 3 times big. And they really have sincere intentions for helping out this club and this town. And I think the story speaks for itself. And when season 2 drops here in the next couple of weeks, I think everybody's in for a pretty wild ride. It's been amazing to watch.
Yeah,
So
the thing that I was concerned about watching this, Brian, was, that people could think that he was kind of mocking this town and mocking their team,
yeah,
that
right,
he and Rob both were.
right.
And but it really, it really doesn't. They're so self-deprecating, fortunately, that it doesn't really come across that.
Yeah, yeah. They're definitely the first to say, listen, we have no idea what we're doing. And they have been, there's an episode I'm working on now where yes, they're very self-deprecating, but yeah, they understand they've got a lot to learn, but they're very defensive about the town, and they're fiercely behind the cause and wanting to see this town honestly get promoted and have the best come to this place, because they have been in Wrexham, they really have been through quite a bit. There's been a lot of tragedy there, and it's a working class town. And I mean, we're talking about a town it's the third oldest football club in the world, and they play at a stadium that is the oldest international stadium in the world that's still up and running. And so to say that this town like believes in this football club, or they really are behind it, is a crazy understatement. This is the beating heart of this town. And so to see just the intent behind what Rob and Ryan are trying to do with this and trying to tell their story, and the stories that are there, it's so fun, because I get to go back to my early days of filmmaking and doing documentary work, where I just get to go around with a camera sometimes and just start talking to people on the street and really have them tell me these unbelievable stories of how the football club has really propped them up and kept them going. And there's a lot of anecdotal things, but it's interesting even to hear Ryan talk about it, because it's almost like a church there in a sense, where, I mean, people have their ashes spread on the pitch, and it's a very unique thing to watch. And the responsibility there has been incredible as far as being able to tell the story and do it justice. So it's for me personally, it's been like drinking from the fire hose and trying to keep up with all the different stories that we're trying to cover with the club, with the town, and then the reaction of the audience all over the world. So it's been a real privilege. So
It really does sound a little bit like you're describing Ted Lasso.
yeah, it's crazy. My first day on the job was a week before. They said, "Hey, Bryan, we need you to come out and do the shoot." And it was I got to meet the King of England first day of the job and shake his hand and talk with him. It was just completely surreal, out of body, but amazing. So, and I think it shows that what they're doing is working over there, and it's bringing just this incredible positive light to what was a really what could have been a very, very sad story, but it's really been helping quite a bit with the town. So we're really happy with how the show's been received.
Well, that's inspiring. With that, we're out of time. Season 1 of Welcome to Wrexham currently streams on Hulu. Bryan Rowland, congratulations on your nominations. Best of luck at the forthcoming Emmys, and thanks for joining us at Gold Derby.
Thank you.